Can all these standard qualities be found in a person? Can someone have the kindest heart and a soul with all emotion? Can someone be fearless and sympathetic? Yes, these immensely characteristic features are found in a woman. She is a woman. She is a mother, daughter, wife, sister, and a friend. She gives you life, respect, love, and gratitude. She has the sense to forget and forgive with endless love. She believes in you. She nurtures you, fights for you. She deserves nothing less from you. She plays vital roles. She is meticulous. She can fit in any profession. She can be a doctor, lawyer, police officer. Every woman's success is an inspiration to another. We are strongest when we cheer each other. I am blessed with this wonderful opportunity to thank my mother, who is always loving and dear, cooks for me and showers her blessings. I will take ages to describe her. I am proud of all the mothers, my teachers, and all the women. Women deal with more health issues than men. A woman goes through a roller coaster ride in all the phases of her life as she experiences drastic changes in and outside of her body while growing. Health is an undeniable and essential factor that plays a role in every woman's well-being. Women's health need to be front and center it often isn't? Yes, it needs to be. Today we have a great personality to describe further on the importance of a woman's health and highlight the factors for a better change. Dr. Saritha Reddy, a great gynecologist well known for her hospitality and kind attitude. She is also the daughter-in-law of K. Anjalreddy, who has built a trust in all the people and known for their sympathetic flame of mind. May I request our honorable guest, Dr. Saritha Reddy, to share a few words with us? Please welcome her with a huge round of applause.
I can talk from here on. This is on. Hello? There. Hi, good evening everyone. And sorry, I have been late by 15 minutes, I think so. And I have made you wait. Very nice to see you all, and the hospitality of your school and your teachers. Nice. It's so nice. So thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am, for all the things. And so when they have asked me to discuss about the adolescent health, I think this is a very much important topic which we have to know about in our life. We have to know about our health. We have to get used to the things what we are new to and adopt many things. So this is a topic which everyone should know. I'm very happy coming here and discussing on this topic, and I hope I'll not bore you, right? And thank you very much. What's your name?
Ritika.
Ritika. Yeah, Ritika, thank you very much for your kind words and a great introduction about the woman. Yeah, woman is always great. She's always great. She has to be encouraged. She can do everything, anything in life if she wants to do it. If you are determined to do anything, you can do anything in life. You can achieve anything, any time of life. Like not only now at your age, even at 40s, 50s, if you want to achieve anything, you can achieve in your life. So be confident and let's start without late, okay? Because you have to go home, I think. Right. Shall we start? Anything more you have to say?
Yes, ma'am. I should.
Yeah, you can continue.
Thank you for sharing your opinion with us, ma'am. Your words are informative. We are curious to collect additional information from you. Please have a seat, ma'am. It's time to lead towards the interesting phase of this event. To enlighten their curiosity in the young minds, I would like to please my fellow mate, Siham sister of 10A, to take over this precious moment. I hope you are ready with your numerous queries, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Ritika. I am Siham Sultana of class 10th A. Take this moment to make it more cheerful. Let's begin. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's on.
I have a count of queries to ask you about our health and its importance. So, without any further ado, can I start the session, ma'am?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Thank you, ma'am. Each one of us are eager to know that why are periods so painful? What reduces the cramps? Are there any specific exercises or food that needs to practice in menstruation cycle?
Yeah, there are many. I think if it is the questions you want to get the things, first let's talk on the things and then we'll go for the questions.
Sure, ma'am.
Is it okay for you?
Yes.
Okay?
Sure, ma'am.
Don't mind? Because most of your answers, your questions will be answered in the presentation itself. The remaining questions we'll take up. Don't mind?
Yeah. You'll have.
Shall we start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
For sure.
thank you. So,
Yes, study. Sure.
yeah. So about adolescent health. What is health? First of all, let's know what is health. Health is not merely a state where we'll have some illness for which we take some medicines and the illness is corrected. That is not the health. So health has got an entirely a different definition. That is, health is a state of complete physical, mental, social and spiritual well-being. And it is not merely the absence of any disease. So we have to be healthy from inner side in all the way, in all the ways. Then only it can be defined as we are completely healthy. If you are not having any disease, it's not that you are healthy. Your health should come from in, or even your mind should be healthy, everything should be healthy. Then only it's called as health. So your body has got a right on you. Therefore, that body should be nourished, protected, cleaned and guarded against your illnesses. That is a compulsion. That much care we have to take about our body because we live in that body. If that body is healthy, we are healthy. Okay, so we have to take care of the body. So it's not just treating the illness. In case of illnesses, it should be treated and it should be spared from overburdening. So most of the students now are very much overburdened mentally because of the studies, because of the books, because of the teachers, because of the parents, and some of the because of doctors like me. Am I correct? Right? So overburdening and overthinking should be avoided. Whatever is healthy, we have to do that. Yeah. So, what is adolescence? So now you have known what is health. So what is adolescence? Why adolescence is most important for us? Adolescence is a developmental transition from childhood to adulthood. As a child, we does not have much responsibilities on us. We don't have many things which to think seriously. But once you become an adult, there are many responsibilities and we have to think of many things. So the transition from childhood to adulthood is called as adolescence. The very period during which this happens is adolescence. The name we have coined for that period is adolescence. So it includes both changes, rapid changes in the brain and also the body. Both physically and mentally we are going to develop. So what is puberty? Puberty is nothing but it is the physical changes of the body. So it is the period during which the child reaches sexual maturity and becomes capable of reproduction. So that is the age where what is the difference between a child and an adult? A child is a child. She cannot reproduce. She cannot have something related with sex. Both the males and boys and girls are equal when they are in childhood. Once they become adults, so there difference in the transition. Adult a boy will go into an adult male, a girl will grow into an adult female. So the growth changes which takes place, that period is called as adolescence. So why this adolescence health is very much important? Why should we focus on the adolescent health? So there are many major physical, psychological and behavioral changes which takes place in this time, which we have to understand ourselves. So sexual maturity is one of the things which we have to take, accept and understand, and development of the adult mental process and the adult identity. I'll tell you later on what is all these things. And healthy, responsible parenthood. Okay, great. Actually, adolescent people are a great human source for the society. They are very active during this period. So society needs you people. So the thinking and everything should be in a healthy way. The growth spurt and physical activity is maximum at this period, and in girls, menstruation and pregnancy, all the things takes place in this period only. So according to the science, we divide adolescence into 3 periods. So complete adolescence period is from 10 to 19 years. So you might be thinking, why madam is talking about pregnancy? By the time you are 19 or 20, almost 80% of you people get married. If not, you just remember my words, okay? Because of your social things, your customs, your cultures and everything, we live in a world where cultures are dominating the things. So according to these things, we'll get married by the time you reach 19 or 20. So reproduction is also one of the things we have to understand in this age. I think very small girls are also sitting here anyhow. So early adolescence is from 10 to 13 years, middle is from 14 to 16, late adolescence is from 17 to 19 years. And the youth is, which we call always your young people, youth of India, something. That is from 15 to 24 years. Okay, that is the time where every person is very strong. They'll get the determination to do anything. They can do anything in the world like that. There is the most strongest time in the life, physically, not mentally. Okay. So in this, we have 3 types of growths in the adolescence. This is physical, psychological, and sexual. So what is the physical growth? Physical growth includes both skeletal and body composition. Most of the 25% of our adult height and everything reaches in this period of time from 10 to 19 years. Most from childhood to 10 up to 10 years, if you have 75%, from 10 years we'll have that during this period, during up to the late adolescence, we'll grow around 25% and the body weight increases and adipose tissues, the body shape will come and increase in the muscle mass will be there. And psychological growth, this is very much important. So during this period, we become very less interested in the parental activities. We don't like our parents asking us to do everything, right? We don't like our parents dominating on us. We want to think ourselves. We want to be responsible for our own things. నేనేం చేస్తే అదే కరెక్ట్ అనేదే ఉంటుంది. So that thing is also your age problem. That is also because of your age. Nothing to be worried of. That's not your fault, right? And mood swings will be there. So your relationship between the friends increases than to your parents. While your childhood, you always be beside your mother. But once you become into an adolescence, you want to be more with your friends rather than your parents. You doesn't want to go with your parents. So that will be there. And increased cognition, so increased intellectual activity will be there because you start thinking of your own things. Increased need of privacy, you doesn't want to mingle with the things. So lack of impulse control, you'll be very is it correct? Lack of impulse control. Your mothers and fathers could not control you from shouting. Yes? And increased intellectual ability and risk-taking behavior. Idemundile nen chesestan. I'll do it. That will be there. Okay? Am I correct in these things? Yes? So you should understand all those things. These are the things which you will face. Once you do all these things, you will have a repercussions from your parents, your teachers, and everything. So you become mentally depressed. You'll go into depressions and all those things. So once you understand your things, why this class, why I am telling all these things, once you understand these mood swings, all these things, the pressure you are going to face, what your mind wants and what your parents wants. So the difference, if you can understand, you can analyze the things, then life becomes easy. You can make your parents understand the things. Like I'm feeling this way, so you don't ask me to come to all the functions. I'm feeling bad for it. So all those things you can express to your parents. So next comes sexual growth. So here we are talking only about the girls. So sexual growth is something which starts from 8 to 9 years and ends by 16 years around like that. So first starts with the breast development. Breast development in scientifically it is called as scientific words, it's called as telarchy. So telarchy, it starts from 8 to 12 years, breast starts developing. Next comes the pubic hair, 11 to 14 years, which we call as scientifically pubarchy. And growth spurts begins at 10 years, and menarche means to onset of menstrual cycles, like periods. They'll start from 9 to 16 years. It varies. Some people may have it at 9 years, some at 16 years. So between 9 to 16 years, it may start anytime. Not that your friends are having periods, you are not having periods. So it's not that it is something wrong with your body. So it has a range. It has a range. So nothing to be worried of in something. So and internally you will have the development of the ovaries, uterus, clitoris, and external sexual organs also. And underarm hair also, it is one of the characteristics of the sexual growth. So mainly the adolescent problems. Adolescent problems, mainly it can be divided into nutritional problems, mental health problems, behavioral problems, and reproductive problems. These are the things which we are going to discuss now. Most of your problems will be here only. So adolescence and nutrition. This is the topic which most neglected thing. Ante it is not neglected by the parents, but it is neglected by you people, by the stool, young people, I have to say. Okay. For growth, because I have already told you, it is having a highest growth spurt period. Growth will be maximum at this period. So for that growth, we need much of the nutrition. As we are having a rapid growth phase and the pubertal changes, it needs much nutrition than normal period. So you have to eat healthy. You have to eat and eat healthy. That is most required thing in life. It's like your sir was discussing with me before entering into this hall regarding your nutrition only. He is most worried about your nutrition, right? Because at this time you people doesn't want to eat. You have your own things on eating. If my friend sees me eating like all these things, they'll think you feel bad. I don't know why. I have seen my daughter also, and I'm also having one daughter. She is also going through the same phase of life. So that is the thing. Concentrate on your food. I will go on with the food also. We have to get all the micronutrients and encourage our body to grow in full. So what are the nutritional problems we are going to face? Mostly undernutrition. All the girls doesn't want to eat. Not that their parents doesn't want to give, but they doesn't want to eat. Why? Can anyone answer this? Why? Why? Main thing, you doesn't like the healthy food. Am I correct? ఆకుకూరలు తినమంటే కష్టం, ఏదైనా తినమంటే కష్టం, కూరగాయలు తినమంటే కష్టం, అదే పఫ్ తినమంటే ఇష్టం, కేక్ తినమంటే ఇష్టం. So that is the where problem arises. All the fast foods and all the junk foods which are causing mainly the obesity in the children. Child obesity is one of the major problems of the society now we are facing. Once upon a time it's undernutrition which we were facing, but now it has become child obesity. So child obesity should be controlled. Most of the parents of your parents will give you whatever you want to eat. They'll suggest you for eating good things, but still when you want to eat a cake, when you want to eat something from the fast foods, they'll just give you the money and they'll ask you to get it. No one will say no, but think of before you eat all those things. You can eat it, but you have to limit your things. Actually speaking about what you are eating, like fast foods which are available in our country, they are not our things to eat, and they are not the Western things to eat. Western people don't eat what we are eating, what you are thinking that we are adopted from the Western countries, but it is not the thing. What we are getting is Indianized Western foods. The chatta from all that things and chatta from here is included into our Western food which you are eating. They eat very healthy. All the Western people eat very healthy. You just Google and see what are the foods they are taking. They eat most of the fresh vegetables. They eat salads. They take many things which are very much healthy. But we are not doing that. We use all the mayonnaises, we use all the cheese, we use all the things which are not healthy. Right? So think of before you eat. You have to make whatever food is healthy food, you can make into a good snacks. You can teach your parents to get the good snacks from the healthy food. So next thing is iron deficiency anemia, which is the more common thing because of nutrition deficiency. Coming to the things, it is mostly prevalent in the adolescents. It's around 22 to 91%. 91% is very high. Most of the adolescent girls, they are deficient in iron, which is causing anemia. Anemia means less hemoglobin. The less hemoglobin will cause many problems in us. Anemia is nothing but we are having a less hemoglobin percentage. So it might be also because of increased growth requirements. As I have told you, there is a spurt in the growth, so we have to get more food, for which more healthy food, not more food, more healthy food. So for which if we don't take that food, we'll have an decrease in the iron and which ultimately leads to anemia and a menstrual loss. Once the periods have started, we'll have bleeding. So we'll be losing some amount of blood every month during periods, which is causing again anemia. And next, naturally, dislike for iron rich foods and frequent dieting. Dieting is something all of us do. Am I correct? Dieting is not dieting, but you always avoid and skip the meals. Am I correct? So, and next is obesity. What are the obesity problems we are facing? Prevalence of obesity is 11 to 14%, and it's higher in boys, but still even in girls. Other eating disorders which are causing is bulimia nervosa and anorexia and binge eating. So what are these? Binge eating is something we eat rapidly, whatever you want, fatafat. We eat it in a short time, large food in a short time, which causes obesity, right? And even bulimia is also the same, but we eat it hiding from the people who are checking us without knowing to your parents, without knowing to your secretly we eat it. And next what we'll do, we'll have a something in mind. Now I have eaten so much, I'll become so fat. And then you start inducing the vomitings. And that is something, it is also something mentally, we in our scientific knowledge, we state it as a disease, which is called as bulimia nervosa, anorexia nervosa. That is dieting too much, thinking of we are going to become very fat, like that. In that way you start dieting very much, than extremely dieting, which causes anorexia. So next is mental health problems. What is the mental health problems? Depression. And most of the mentally problematic people are from your age, from 10 to 25 years. 10 to 25 years. Why? Why? It's just because the pressure you are dealing, because I have already told you, there will be, you will have something in your mind, but teachers and parents will say something else to do. So you will have that pressure built into your mind, which for which reason you will be suffering mostly from the mental health illnesses. Not that mental health illnesses are considered as something wrong. It is just the pressure you are having from the outside things. So which causes, if you are unable to handle those pressures, you will have some of the problems like depression, suicide, psychosis, mania, conduct disorders and anxiety disorders. That is not a big thing, we will discuss later. So behavioral problems, and nowadays with the modern things and all the things, so behavioral problems has become very problematic things. So under this we have drug experimentation. Many of the people, ante once, now you are still in the students in the school level, but once you go into the colleges and everything, you will be exposed to many things, many things. So we'll have some instinct in your mind. So what is it? We have to know about it. In that way we'll get addicted to the drugs, and which is commonly happening nowadays. And you might be seeing the news. If you are seeing the news, you'll understand the things. It is most of the time very dangerous thing which is happening around the world, around us only, not the world, around us. Okay, so you have to think before eating anything or getting used to anything. So, and the risk behavior, violence, bullying and everything is the problems with the adolescents. So you want to take risk for everything. If you want to drive a car, you drive it at 120. You will not go in 80. That is the thing. So you want to take the risk behavior. This risk behavior is not, it is because of your hormones, the changes which are happening in your body. Next is reproductive problems. So this is the problems where you want to discuss, you want me to discuss. I think I am boring you. Everyone is sleeping? No? Right. Then, so most common problem which our India is facing now is teenage pregnancies. Teenage pregnancy. If I discuss this problem, might be you feel bad, you will not have things, but it is the main problem which we are facing. So 16 to 19% of the total pregnancies are now teenage pregnancies, which may be legal or illegal. It might be after marriage or before marriage. So think of these relationships and all those things. Now you will not have. Once you enter into the college, you have to face all these things. Once you enter into the college, after 2 to 3 years, after going out from the 10th class, you have to face all these things. So teenage pregnancy, to avoid these things, you have to know what is happening with your body. What is the things which are going on in your body. So this is the main problem now in India, which is affecting most of the teens, and 16 to 19% of the total pregnancies are included in teenage pregnancies is a very big thing. And so illegal pregnancies will cause illegal abortions. Once that illegal abortions, then again your health is going to be affected. And the third thing, most common problem is your acne. And the next is reproductive tract infections, which we are telling, white discharge and all those things. And the next is menstrual cycle problems. And the other things are infections related to the external genitalia. Something happened. Kadra? Okay. అదే అనుకోండి పోయిందా presentation finally. It's okay. We'll just do it. ఇది కనిపిస్తుంటే work. This is? Yeah. So, so just I want to make you understand about this your menstrual system and reproductive system, for which I have taken this diagram. I think most of you people have already read all these things in your book. So this is the diagram of our uterus, which shows all the organs which are present in the uterus. So this is called as vagina, from where uterus starts. Uterus starts from here, and this is the whole body of the uterus. And these are two fallopian tubes, we call it as our uterine tubes. And this is the ovary. This is the complete structure of the uterus, which bears the baby and which gives birth to our next generation, right? So regarding this, first thing what you have to know is, first of all, what is the things are going on in your body during the menstrual period, or during while what is menstruation, what is the things going on, for which we have two hormones mainly, estrogen and progesterone, which are produced by the ovaries. Two hormones which are produced by the ovaries. So most active part of the body is always ovaries, not the uterus. So from the ovaries, whole our systems are being controlled, and the ovaries are controlled by brain. The ovaries are controlled by brain, and which produce the hormones, and these hormones control all our body and our growth and everything. These are the two hormones which are produced from the ovaries, which control every part of our things, both estrogen and progesterone. Because of that effect of the estrogens and progesterones, the whole menstrual cycle is actually divided into, our menstrual cycle is a period of 28 days. It's not a period of 30 days. First thing you have to think of. Most of my patients complain we are having a period 2 days before, 3 days before our month. So that is happens because the cycle length is only 28 days. 28 days, so in a month we are having 30 days, 31 days, we will get 3 days, 2 days before the periods. So that is a natural thing, nothing to be worried of the things. So our menstrual cycle phase is divided into two parts. One which is affected by the estrogen. Two hormones I have told you. One is estrogen, the other is progesterone. So by the two hormones it's affected. First 15 days are affected by the estrogen, one of the hormone, and the second phase, second 15 days are under the control of progesterones. So because of these two hormones we are having the cycles, and it is a menstrual cycle is very complex thing to understand. To make it easy, we have three things you have to see. One, hormone levels. Two is the growth in the ovary. In the ovary, we'll have some follicles, I mean to say eggs developing. So they will start developing from the day one of the cycle and end up at the 21st day of the 28 days of the cycle. So that is there, and the next is our inside the uterus there is a lining called as endometrium here. So there is a lining called as endometrium. That lining which sheds off during the period that lining which sheds off during the period and which is seen as menstrual cycle or bleeding. So that lining is affected by the two hormones. First 14 days by the estrogen, second 14 days by the progesterone. So this is the growth in the ovary. What we see in the ovary. First, the egg. These are all the eggs we see in the ovary. They grow as the period goes on. This is the first day of the cycle, and that is the 28th day of the cycle. As it grows on, it reaches the maximum size in around 12 to 14 days of the cycle, and then it starts reducing the size, and it reduces to the minimum by 28 days of the cycle. And the next here we are seeing is the lining of the uterus. Lining of the uterus, it starts to bleed on the first 5 days of the cycle, it starts to bleed, and then it starts to grow again from the 7th day of the cycle up to the 14th day. It grows on the influence of the estrogen, and then it grows on the influence of the progesterone, and the last after 28 days again we will have a bleed here. So this is a very complex system, it's very difficult to understand, but only things we have to know is two hormones, endometrial lining and the ovary. These things are working during a cycle. That briefing is more than enough. You can understand your system by that. So coming to the problems. So let us discuss some of the problems. Once you understand about something about the uterus, what are acne? Are you people very much affected by the acne? Yes, yes. What are the acne? So I have already told you we have two hormones in our body, but there is one more hormone which is our enemy, right? It is called as testosterone, which is a male hormone, but still it is produced in our body also. Because of that effect of that hormone, we are having this acne. Acne is something which causes which starts in your early adolescent period, and after late adolescence, once the adolescence is completed, once you become after 20-22 years, that acne will automatically go off. You need not worry of the things. So it will automatically come down as your age advances. So only thing is problem of the things while these acne grow, it causes harm to our skin. Skin ni paad chestadu. Adokkate problem. Andarki nidra vastundi. No problem. Kada?
No, ma'am.
Right. So skin ni paad chestundi annadu okkate tappa, otherwise it is acne are good. Nothing to do with the acne. You should not interfere those things. It will come, it will go by itself. Only thing, if it is having any secondary infections, it will have some more infection on once it causes a problem in the skin. But it produces a small whitish color discharge, which is get accumulated in the over the skin and causes a pimple type of thing, like a projection, which we call it as acne. It will go off by itself, and after once you reach 20-22 years, all the acne will come down. Meanwhile, it may affect your skin, so don't pinch the acne. Leave it for itself. You have to clean it to control the acne. You have to clean it daily with soap and water and make it dry and apply some normal moisturizing lotions. That's all. That is more than enough, unless it is secondarily infected. Next is reproductive tract infections, that is white discharge, which you want to discuss. If you have any doubts on the white discharge, you can ask me. So actually, to know the white discharge is also under the influence of the two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. First 14 days we will have a white discharge which is watery in nature. I have already told you we have to divide the cycle in two phases. First 14 days, next 14 days. So first 14 days we will have a discharge which is watery in nature, which is the influence of estrogen hormone. And the next 14 days we will have a discharge which is somewhat jelly type of thing with whitish color discharge, which is also a natural, which is under the influence of progesterone, second half of the cycle. Everyone will have this discharge. Without a discharge, no one will be there. It is a compulsory. We will have one discharge which is light, watery in nature in the first 14 days and somewhat thick and whitish in nature in the second 14 days, which is very common thing. Only why we are so much worried of white discharge? And one more thing, first problem, everyone will say we are having backache because of white discharge. So backache is not because of white discharge. First thing, most of the parents get their daughters to me saying that they are having severe backache and all those things because of white discharge. White discharge is something, it is friendly to us. White discharge is a compulsion for reproductive health. It should be there. So when it is problematic only when it is infected. Only it is when it is infected. Without white discharge, no lady will be there. White discharge is compulsion. It is problematic only when it is infected. So infection signs we can see like itching in the private parts, very excessive white discharge which is soiling our clothes, and smell. All those things are the signs of infection. When you are having an infection, definitely you have to go to a doctor, a gynecologist, right? Otherwise, white discharge is something which is friendly to us. You should not hate that things. And the thing is, next is most of the problems you face is white discharge. Only infected white discharge should be treated. Otherwise, it will not cause any problems. That is the thing. Next is menstrual cycles. So menstrual cycle period is 28 days. Already I have told you. So the main problems we are facing in the menstrual cycle periods is pain and heavy bleeding, or otherwise irregular cycles and little bleeding. Less bleeding, heavy bleeding, irregular periods and pain. These are the 4 topics we can discuss under that. So pain, it is because uterus contracts, it squeezes to let the blood outside. That is the reason you are having the cramps, for which a little rest or little walking and taking something healthy and hot will cause you will make you somewhat comfortable with that. If you are, some people will have severe which we call it as dysmenorrhea in our language. So if you are having a severe pain, you can go for tablets for that 1 or 2 days or 3 days, which during the which period you will having the pain. It is because of the cramps, because of the squeezing of the uterus, you get the cramps. But it is not something like you take tablets for this month and next month it will not come, it will not be there. Dysmenorrhea is something, it lives with us. You have to face it. Some people will experience it, some people will not experience it. It depends on the squeezing capacity of the uterus. It differs from lady to lady. That is the thing. So next thing is our irregular cycles. Yeah, irregular cycles, we may have told you 28 days. 25 to no one will have a exactly 28 days period. 25 to 35 days period is normal. We'll have a range for it. 25 to 30 days period is 35 days. 5 days this way, 5 days that way is a normal period. You need not worry on this, worry on the things. Only if it is less than 25 days, if it is more than 35 days, then it is called as irregular period. So for that, for a period which is becoming more lengthier, more than 35 days, 45 days, 2 months, 3 months, for which we have to take care of some of the things. It is mostly, you might be hearing about polycystic ovaries. నీటి బుగ్గలు అయినాయి, కడుపులో నీటి బుగ్గలు అయినాయి అని చెప్పి చెప్తా ఉంటారు. ఆల్ అవర్ పేరెంట్స్ విల్ దే సే ద సేమ్ థింగ్. ఏదో నోటి బుగ్గలు వచ్చేసినాయి లోపటి నుంచి, విచ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు గెట్ ట్రీటెడ్ ఇమీడియట్లీ. All those things will be going on in our houses. But polycystic ovaries is the something which is a hormonal imbalance. It is the 2 hormones which are causing the problem and which is causing the polycystic ovaries. So polycystic ovaries unnayani bhayapadalsina avasaram ledu. You don't have to be afraid of the things. It is a very simple disease. which can be controlled, which cannot be treated. It can be controlled all the way, but it cannot be treated. Like doctor treats for 1-2 months, it will go off. Something is not like that with polycystic ovaries. So you have to learn more about polycystic ovaries. Don't worry of the things. If you are having irregular periods, you take the opinion of the gynecologist, which will give you most of the times. They can educate you on the things on your problem, because it is a very big subject. I can't tell you. It varies from patient to patient, like from girl to girl. So that is something you can discuss on your problems. You are having some problem. All the periods which are coming earlier, which are coming late, are because of polycystic ovaries. But it has got a treatment which can be controlled. And the next, I think we are done. So our government is running some of the programs for the people who are unable to reach doctors. Our government is running some of the programs. Kishore Shakti Yojana, it is to improve the health and nutrition of the girls. They distribute the iron tablets and all the things in the villages. If anyone is from the villages, you might be knowing all the things. And Balika Samriddhi Yojana, this is to delay the age of the marriage. In our rituals, our people get married once our menstrual cycle starts. So that should not happen. That is the thing we have. The government has fixed one age for the marriage as 18. Now it is being taken to 21 years. So 21 years we have to wait to get married. Okay? And next is reproductive and child health programs. That is for the people who are pregnant. And adolescent friendly health services. So whatever the problems you are having, mental, psychological, and physical problems, all those things will be addressed in this adolescent friendly health services, which will be conducted in all the PHCs. You can attend them if you are having a problem. And the next thing is AIDS. AIDS is something we have to know about it. AIDS is something nowadays people are mostly aware of the AIDS, but the adolescent people like you people are not aware of the AIDS. So now the increasing incidence of AIDS cases are seen in the adolescent period. AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease. I think you might be knowing about the AIDS, Telsa?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is a sexually transmitted disease, or it transmits from the blood. So you have to know about the things, and you have to take care without for AIDS. AIDS nowadays, most of the elderly people, they have already controlled their AIDS by knowing the things. Now you people are young generation which are entering into the new reproductive age. So you have to know about AIDS. AIDS is something which is transmitted because of intercourses and because of blood transfusions, because of blood. Wherever there is a mix of blood, it is having the spread of the AIDS is seen. So in that areas you have to control. There are many things to control on the AIDS. You have to use actually for if you are speaking on the sexually transmission of the AIDS for blood transfusion, which the government has already taken the case for testing the blood for everyone and everything before giving transfusions and everything. It is almost controlled on the side of the blood transfusion. And the second transfusion is a sexually transmission. So for that we have to take care. So only a way of controlling a sexually transmitted disease is condoms, using condoms. That is the only way where you can control AIDS. There is no other way where you can control AIDS. So in your future, when the things happen, you have to take care of the things. Thank you. And there is a small take-home message for you. So good nutrition and dietary practices, a healthy lifestyle, a good mental health, and reproductive health and sexuality, and personal hygiene. All these will take care of your family, your marriage, and everything. So all these 5 things will make you lead a good life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this informative session. Please have a seat, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. It was really very informative and helpful. The ones who are not able to convey their messages, I mean to say the problems they are facing, and have this sensitiveness in them to not open up, uh, as it became a taboo in our society. It is not something shameful to talk on. It is a natural phenomena that is so significant that it depends on the survival and propagation of a species. Yet it is considered as a taboo. But I really hope that each one of us got to know on the specific things they have to focus on their cycles and health. Moving forward.
Sure.
Yeah. I would like to get some knowledge on, like, is it true that playing outdoor games and running cause more cramps and bloating? Because by the grace of God, we have a massive ground, and all of us have a craze of playing games.
Yeah, dysmenorrhea, I mean to say pain during periods, you are asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, pain during periods is something is not experienced by everyone. Only some people will have that pain during the periods. So during that pain, if you are having severe pain, almost it's difficult for you to play. I can understand. But playing will not cause severe pain, but the pain will cause you to stop from doing those activities. That's all. So by playing, it will not have any effect on the periods. But if you are having pain, it may be difficult for you to, naturally, if you are having a pain in hand, you can't throw a ball, right? So pain may inhibit your work. So for which you can take a pain tablet and continue the thing. But taking the pain tablets always is not good for health. So when it is extremely needed, you take it. When you are having severe pain and you are not going to take an outside ball, sports activities, you can avoid sometimes, I think.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a strong information for all of us. And moving forward, can you share some suggestion on what tips to be followed in the early days of periods, and how often the sanitary napkin should be changed?
Yeah, sanitary napkins should be changed once it is soiled, that is true. And the thing is, a minimum of 2 times a day. Minimum of 2 times a day, even if it is not soiled. Once it is soiled, it should be changed, that is the thing. The thing is, minimum of 2 times a day, if it is not soiled. That is important. You can't carry one sanitary napkin for 2 to 3 days. It is not soiled, we are wearing it. It is somewhat economical problems will be there, but still you have to change it.
Thank you, ma'am. It's so instructional. And I think whenever we follow the tips that ma'am is sharing with us today, we'll surely remember you, and thank you, ma'am.
I think you don't have one more questions?
Yeah, we
Questions
have.
are answered?
No.
It's okay.
Continuing
Right.
our conversation,
Yeah.
I would like to get knowledge on why do we feel lazy and sleepy and get irritated easily during our cycles?
Yeah, it is just our hormonal effects that, as I told you, these are the two hormones which are playing with us, estrogens and progesterones. It is because of the hormonal effects we are feeling that laziness and we are feeling that irritation during the periods, and it is something our brain thinks it is unhygienic to have a period, to have these things also will cause our reason for our irritation, and the mood swings which our hormones will have on us, which also will cause these problems. Yeah.
Indeed, the human body has its own magic. All the magical elements play vast role. And I hope each one of us are understanding the factors that affects our periods and will definitely deal with it. Besides that, most of their grandmas avoids them to take head bath during their cycle. I'm so curious to know that is it true or a myth?
No, it's a myth.
It's a myth.
It's a
Right.
myth.
I'm clarified, and I hope everyone will share this with their grandmas too. Last but not the least, can you suggest any 3 things to do and not to do during our cycles?
Not to do. Yeah. Um, Frequent changing of the pads, like twice a day, that is more important. Uh, Depending on your cycle, like heavy bleed, normal bleed, you have to take your pads, like sizes of the pads and everything will do. If you're having pain, you avoid heavy exercises on that days. Mm, that's all. And eat healthy. Eat healthy. Because you are having pain, you should not avoid eating. Eat healthy. If you eat healthy, most of your problems will get controlled in many ways, even your periods also, irregular periods also. And daily exercise is a compulsion for every girl. Daily exercise is a compulsion. With the increased use of all the computers and the phones and everything, exercise has become a very bad thing nowadays. So exercise is a compulsion, daily exercise, which daily exercise and food maintenance will cause regularity in your periods, will decrease your pain, and bleeding problems most of the times, heavy bleeding and all those things also will get controlled. Exercise and correct diet should be taken during whole month and during periods also. Right.
And what not to do? I mean, what to avoid during our cycles?
That's what heavy exercises, heavy works can be avoided. Otherwise, periods, nothing to be avoided during the periods. Everything you can do.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for this precious advice and for this informational session. It is very useful and beneficial. The curious audience are truly having a great time today. Now it is the time to make the event more happening. I would like to ask the audience if they have any queries. Is anyone ready to collect more information from our honorable guest?
Someone is there.
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. This is Sara Fatima of class 10. So, ma'am, my question is that can we take painkillers during our menstrual cycle?
Yeah, if you are having very severe cramps, say very severe pain, then you can take it for 1 or 2 days. You have to use antispasmodics, which can be prescribed by your gynec, and you can take for 1 to 2 days. But don't make it a habit of using uh, painkillers, because painkillers have got many side effects on the body. Unless it is very much needed, don't take it.
Any more?
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm Suhana from 9th Alpha, and I'd like to ask that if we fall sick during our cycle, can we use the medications required or will it affect our cycle or body in any way?
What? Can you come again?
If we fall sick
Sick. Okay.
during our cycle, like fever or something, can we take the required medications or will it affect our body in any way?
Yeah, you can definitely take the required medications.
It doesn't affect.
No, it doesn't affect it all. See, menstrual cycle is a natural phenomenon in our body. Don't think it in a different way. It is a natural cycle in our body. Right? Natural thing that is happening in our body. So you can do everything during that period. Right? Thank you. Come on. Best to avoid? To avoid. Why should we avoid any food? Like, yeah, all the cheese and fatty foods we have to avoid, but Never think of avoiding anything to eat. See, our body requires everything, even fat, even proteins, even carbohydrates, and everything, all the minerals, all the micronutrients, everything, which cannot be there in a single food. So we have to take all the fruits, we have to take all the rice, we have to take all the vegetables, we have to take everything. And naturally, we have to take the taste of every food available in the world. Am I correct? Yes, we have to take it. But think of, don't overeat. Don't overeat. Right? You have to think of once you are becoming fat or you are having some problems, you have to avoid all the fatty foods. So depending on our body, once if you are too thin, if you are having like eating problems, like you are not able to pick up your weight and everything, then you can start on with some fat foods and some carbohydrates, some proteins. All together you have to take. And we young people, we have to taste every food in the life, right? Right. Don't think of avoiding anything, but limit yourself. There is a difference in two things, right? Good evening. What treatment you want to do? You want to treat for what? During our cycle, what? For pain, for heavy bleeding, depends on what the thing you want to treat. Yeah, if the treatment always lies with the problem, right? What is your problem? If you are having a heavy bleeding, you have to think of in terms what is causing the heavy bleeding. If you are having heavy bleeding, you have to consult a gynec because your system has to be evaluated. What is causing the problem of the bleeding? If you are having a pain, I have already explained you about the pain. If you are having a pain, you have to depends. Small pain you can adjust and avoid heavy works and all those things, and you can get the things done. If you are having severe pain, then you have to go with the pain tablets, antispasmodics. So depends on the what the thing you want to treat. It's not a question which can be answered straightly, right?
I'm sorry to inform that the time is almost up. So this Q&A session will wind up here.
Okay.
But if you have any queries and problems to share with, ma'am is owning a hospital, namely Dr. K. Anjalreddy Memorial Hospital, which is nearby, and you all can have an appointment with madam and feel free to share your problems with.
Yeah, that's my word. She has told you. Nice, thank you.
It's truly an honor to have such a distinguished guest with us today. As we express our sincere gratitude, please join me in welcoming Dr. Saritha Reddy for a felicitation and a heartfelt thank you for sharing her knowledge with us. Let's give her a warm round of applause.
This event would not have been possible without the support of Dr. Sara and Dr. Sajid as well. May I have the honor of please requesting Dr. Sara ma'am also to please come on the stage. And also please come on the stage. I request Laura madam to kindly felicitate madam to the center of the stage, please.
Okay.
Stand behind.
Okay.
Small token of thank you, madam, please. Ma'am has a very busy schedule. She has so many patients to see every day. Welcoming so many new babies into this beautiful world without complications and all. She's such a noble job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. My friend Sara ma'am also, please. Sara ma'am has been a great support to us as a school, as a parent. Thank you. Thank you so much. May I request all the madam to please felicitate Dr. Sara as well.
Yes, it's okay, leave it. I'll take it.
Everyone,
Thank you so much,
thank you,
sir.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
such
thank you,
a
children. A
wonderful-
huge round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you very much.